I'm no saint, but I generally try to do the right thing.
Are you sincerely trying to save the world?
I'm trying to do good things.
Good idea for an electric jet.
Impossible, my middle name.
In 2008, Elon Musk had only two choices: watch his companies die or lose everything trying to save them. He was sleeping on factory floors, his bank account was almost empty, and 3 rocket launches had already failed. The media called him reckless. Investors called him crazy. Today, he is one of the richest men on Earth. This is the real story of Elon Musk, his rise, his risks, his failures, and the truth behind the genius. Early life and struggles. Elon Musk was born in 1971 in Pretoria, South Africa. From a young age, he was different. He was shy, socially awkward, and obsessed with books and science. Other children bullied him relentlessly. One day, they beat him so badly he was hospitalized. His face was so swollen, he couldn't recognize himself. Instead of giving up, Elon escaped into learning. He read books for 10 hours a day. By age 10, he taught himself computer programming on an old Commodore computer. At 12, he created a video game called Blaster and sold it for $500. This was the first sign of something special. Elon didn't follow the crowd. He built his own path, leaving home with nothing. At 17, Elon left South Africa alone. He flew to Canada with barely enough money to survive. When he arrived, he had nowhere to stay. He called distant relatives he'd never met, hoping someone would take him in. For months, he worked brutal jobs just to eat. He cleaned boiler rooms in temperatures over 100 degrees. He cut logs on farms. He did whatever paid minimum wage. Most people would have quit and gone home. But Elon wasn't chasing comfort. He was chasing possibility. Eventually, he moved to the United States and studied economics and physics at the University of Pennsylvania. In 1995, he got accepted into Stanford for a PhD, but he quit after just 2 days. Why? Because he saw the internet exploding and knew it would change everything. Zip2, first success and first failure. With his brother, Elon started Zip2, a software company helping newspapers go online. They had no money. They slept in their office and showered at gyms. They worked 18-hour days, 7 days a week. Elon was the programmer, salesman, and janitor all at once. Slowly, major newspapers like the New York Times started using their software. In 1999, Compaq bought Zip2 for $307 million. Elon made $22 million. At 27, he was a millionaire. But there was a problem. Despite his brilliance, investors had forced him out as CEO. Why? Because Elon was too aggressive, too controlling, and terrible at managing people. He demanded perfection and didn't tolerate mistakes. This weakness would haunt him forever. PayPal fired again. After Zip2, Elon invested $10 million into a new startup called X.com, an online bank. It eventually merged with a competitor and became PayPal. Elon became CEO, but conflicts erupted. He made aggressive decisions the board disagreed with. Then, while Elon was on his honeymoon, the board held a secret meeting and fired him. They replaced him with Peter Thiel. Elon was fired from his own company. Again, most people would walk away bitter. Elon stayed as a shareholder. In 2002, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion. Elon earned $180 million. He was worth over $100 million before age 31. He could have retired forever. Instead, he did something insane. All in on Tesla and SpaceX, Elon invested almost everything into 2 impossible industries: electric cars and space rockets. In 2002, he founded SpaceX to make rockets reusable and colonize Mars. Everyone said it was impossible. NASA had spent billions. Private companies had failed. Elon had no rocket experience, but he studied obsessively, hired top engineers, and poured $100 million of his own money into it. In 2004, he invested heavily in Tesla Motors to prove electric cars could be better than gas cars. Again, everyone said impossible. Every car company had tried and failed. But Elon believed the world needed sustainable energy. For years, things seemed promising. Then 2008 came. Everything collapsed at once. Tesla was weeks from bankruptcy. SpaceX had failed 3 launches and had money for only 1 more. If it failed, SpaceX would die. Elon was nearly broke, borrowing money from friends to pay rent. He worked over 100 hours a week, sleeping on factory floors. His marriage ended. The media mocked him. Then in September 2008, SpaceX's fourth rocket launched. Everyone held their breath. Success. It reached orbit. SpaceX became the first private company to do this. 2 months later, NASA gave them a $1.6 billion contract. Tesla received emergency funding. Both companies survived, barely. Elon had been inches from losing everything, but he survived. And from that moment, his companies exploded into dominance. What Elon did right. So why did Elon's crazy bets work? First principles thinking. He doesn't accept tradition. When people said rockets were too expensive, he asked why. He realized materials cost only 2% of the price. So he built rockets in-house and made them reusable. That's why SpaceX rockets land themselves now. Second, extreme risk-taking. When his companies were dying, he invested his last dollar. That commitment made others believe. Third, solving massive problems. Climate change, Tesla, space survival, SpaceX, global internet, Starlink. When you solve problems this big, people pay attention. Fourth, relentless work ethic. Elon works 80 to 100 hours weekly. He's not just in meetings, he's on factory floors fixing problems himself. Fifth, long-term thinking. He doesn't care about quarterly profits. He thinks in decades. Tesla lost money for 15 years before profit, but Elon never wavered. Elon's biggest problems. But let's be honest, Elon is not a perfect hero. First, harsh leadership. Many employees describe toxic environments, unrealistic deadlines, constant fear of being fired, public humiliation. While this drives innovation, it destroys lives. Some engineers have had breakdowns. Second, overpromising. He promised self-driving cars by 2017. Still not here. Mars by 2024? Not close. Hyperloop? Abandoned. These broken promises damage credibility. Third, the Twitter disaster. In 2022, Elon bought Twitter for $44 billion. He fired half the staff. Advertisers fled. Revenue dropped. His handling showed genius in rockets doesn't mean you understand social media. Fourth, reckless online behavior. He tweets impulsively. In 2018, he tweeted about taking Tesla private without proper funding. The SEC sued him for fraud. $20 million fine. Genius or madman? Is Elon a genius or madman? He's both. He's a visionary who sees what others miss. But he's also flawed, cruel, and reckless. He revolutionizes industries, but burns out employees. Here's the truth. Most people who change the world aren't nice or balanced. Steve Jobs was cruel. Edison exploited workers. Tesla died alone and broke. Greatness comes with a cost. Does that make it okay? No. But it's reality. Elon is not a role model for treating people. But he shows what happens when someone refuses limits and risks everything for a vision. Final message. Elon Musk proves success doesn't come from playing safe. It comes from taking massive risks, even when everyone says you're wrong. It comes from working harder than everyone else, from being willing to fail publicly and get back up. But it also shows that genius without empathy and ambition, without balance, can cause destruction. So the question isn't just whether Elon is a genius or madman, it's what kind of person do you want to be? Will you take risks, chase something bigger than yourself? And will you do it without destroying people around you? That's the real challenge. If you believe struggle creates greatness, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep biography videos. Give us suggestions on which personality we should analyze next. And comment below your honest opinion. Genius or madman, what do you really think Elon Musk is?